Do you think the SPAC method is better?
What we see is that we're really just beginning here. It's the top of the first inning for this revolution. It's a SPAC revolution. And just as we saw many other asset classes grow over time, this is the time and the place for SPACs. So we're not in the bottom of the ninth. We're just getting started here. And A-Star is our sponsor company, and one is our first vehicle coming to market here, is at the right place and in the right time with the right people.
And you have a lot of company in Silicon Valley in terms of raising money for SPACs and acquiring companies and helping them find this alternative route to the public markets. Bill Ackman is doing something similar. You've got Dragoneer raising a SPAC last week to acquire a technology company. We've got Billy Beane out in San Francisco. You've got Foresight Capital executives, Truewind, Leo Apotheker. The list goes on and on and on. How do you differentiate yourself in terms of what you plan to do with your SPAC called One?
We are very uniquely positioned. There's really nothing out in the market that first has these operators on the team that have seen and grown up in Silicon Valley, that really understand the ethos, that we've not just built colleagues in over time, but we have these great friendships and interconnectedness in the Valley. And what we see is a lot of SPACs coming in from the outside. They're reaching out, cold emails and so on. And we know this group. We've been here. We've walked in their shoes. We've been through the ups and downs. Secondly, we decided in this world of the mega SPACs, where SPACs over the last 18 months have really grown in size, we've decided very specifically, despite all the demand and being multiple times oversubscribed, we've stayed small. We've stayed at 200 million, and that allows us to reach $1 billion company and right in the sweet spot for that next generation winner that we want to be a part of.
That's interesting. In terms of the type of company you do want to acquire, I'd love if you could share some kind of color around your thinking there. It seems like these types of SPACs have worked really well with electric vehicle companies. Space has traded pretty well. We've seen online gambling create, some buzz as well. Is it possible to do this with, say, maybe more of a boring B2B SaaS type company?
Well, I would call them far from boring. I think any business that is really building something really great and with an amazing leadership team is who we want to partner with. Just a few months ago, we really found people, our founders and CEOs around the Valley, sort of scratching their heads. What is this SPAC thing? And now they're really leaning in. We're getting so much inbound in interest because they look to us as a trusted partner. We're not interested in what we would call this miracle pharma cancer cure. And that is something that goes public with no revenue, nor the prospects of revenue, and has this binary outcome. It's a low chance of a success. And we find that irresponsible in the market. We're really looking to find a fundamentally great company that's going to build over the long term, and we want to be long-term shareholders. We don't want to rip the ripcord after, say, 18 months and walk away with a big profit. We want to be partners and hold those shares in the lockbox for 10 or 15 years.